Hi everyone, Michele here, owner of Bikram Yoga San Jose, and we are just having a great coffee chat time going through a lot of Bikram idioms. Although you guys don't have coffee, I have my coffee.
No coffee, is it?
That wasn't nice of me. But anyway, so there's a lot of phrases in the dialogue that if you're a regular practitioner, especially here at BYSJ, because we say them all. Yeah. We say them all, like, you know, Mama give me money. What's some of the other ones that
like
we
a Japanese
say? Like a Japanese ham sandwich, we say. So anyway, some of the other ones, Bikram says,
flower petal blooming.
Flower petal blooming, right?
Yes.
We need to slice that one up too. But if you hear it too, Bikram will say this, but we'll say this also in class. Sarah, why don't you say what this next one is?
Oh, so this is a good one. So what's the most important thing in your life?
Your life. And Bikram would always say, right, the answer is in the question, which I always thought was kind of...
And people will give, even teacher training, he'll say, what's that? And people will give the answer, oh, yoga, for example, is one, or family.
Family,
or, yes,
right.
And things, yes. But it's beyond that, your life.
Yeah. And why, you guys, please stay tuned to this because it is profound. I know it sounds like a simple sentence, but we don't take that seriously. And you know what too, and we talk about the airplane example, right? I mean, they're always asking you when the oxygen mask come down, put your own on first before you put on your, meaning, your life, once you take care of that, then you can take care of everything else. I feel like I'm a great example. I've learned that through my life too. The more I take care of myself, the more I want to, take care, and I feel even more like, closeness and want to be, the importance of family and friends, right, too. So, but we don't. In our culture today, it's almost looked actually the opposite. It's your career, it's your family, it's sacrifice, right? And we don't make the time, especially Bikram Yoga, 90 minutes. I don't have the time. I need to do, a 20-minute exercise, but you know what? It's going to haunt you in the end. The most important thing really needs to be your life, right?
Yeah, you don't typically hear stories of people on their deathbed going, I wish I'd finished that sales report.
Yeah.
Or I wish I'd done a better job with that PowerPoint presentation.
Can you imagine if somebody did say that on it?
I wish I'd learned Java, it's like...
Yeah, and you don't want to look back on it like it's too late. You don't. I mean, the first thing we do in class right away is we work on the lungs. I mean, that is your life force. You've got to take care of your lungs, your life. Otherwise you don't have the competitive edge. Those of you that, are aiming for a, kind of a career, you can't run around with your grandchild unless you're, taking care of yourself, right?
I think it also underpins, this is a really interesting phrase because it underpins, I think, a not uncommon misunderstanding about Bikram Yoga, which is perfectly fine in the beginning. When you start practicing, you're excited, you enjoy the yoga, and you really enjoy doing the postures, and you enjoy the hot room, and it's a challenge, but you really enjoy it. And then it becomes about getting good at all the postures. And then, at some point that's exciting, and then at some point that's frustrating. And if it's too frustrating, then you might be disillusioned. And it's like, it's not about that. It's not about what's happening in the room. It's about what's happening in your life. If you come in the room 90 minutes, and every 90 minutes it's just really hard, really hard. But every day your life just gets more flourishing and more fluid and more thriving. Then this is wonderful. Who cares if 90 minutes is a struggle if the rest of the 22 and a half hours of your day is full of gloriousness and happiness?
You know what I think we do? I think we do this in our culture too. We have life, and then maybe we work out. And I think Bikram Yoga starts to tell you that like what you're doing here is part of, you build the habit so that you can have this great life.
Absolutely.
It might be the first time that people kind of understand, right, that you need to take care of yourself in order to have the life that you want to have, right? You know what I mean? Like to say what's the most important thing in your life is your life. I think for the first time what you're saying is you're realizing that yoga is a means to an end.
Absolutely.
It is not, it's not about like great postures. It's a way for you to have this great life. That's why when people say to me like, I can't do this more than once or twice a week, I still feel like they're compartmentalizing as opposed to using, like, it's like, for me, I don't even think about it. I mean, you know, you will too over time as you do it more. It'll integrate in your life, right? It becomes part of your life because it is the most important thing in your life, right?
Well, imagine if the person said to you, you know, well, you know, I can only really afford to breathe on Mondays and Thursdays. I don't really have time to breathe on the other days.
Yeah, great analogy.
You know, when it comes to eating, you know, Tuesdays and Saturdays I can eat.
I can fit it in.
But other than that, I'm too busy, so I don't think I can fit those things in.
Well, that time thing
obviously, if somebody said that to you, you just burst out laughing, and you think it was preposterous.
But that's the context we're putting this in.
The time thing is interesting because people will say, I haven't got time, it's 90 minutes. Then there's the shower and there's the driving, and I get it.
Yeah,
it is a long time. Here's the thing,
true.
though. If, let's make a worst case scenario, you can't breathe properly, you're in pain, you can't think properly, how much time have you got left for the rest of the 24 hours? You know, you might as well have all of that time available because you did yoga.
Oh my gosh, how many of us, right, when we take our yoga, we are better performers for the next 22 and a half hours.
Yes.
Of course.
I mean, I'm more compassionate, I'm more focused, I'm
everything.
more everything.
Yes.
Right? You know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that other phrase, not a Bikramism. But if you don't make space for your wellness, you're going to have to make space for your illness.
Yes.
And that's so true.
It's just,
and that's so true.
Yeah.
And the other thing we put down here too, which is, you know, aid to make sure, right, just give yourself permission, you guys, if you're starting this practice, right, too, that you're trying to own these things. Just show up as much as you can and let it start to build as a habit. Don't beat yourself up. A teacher used to tell me this, like, wake up every day and know there's 6 classes available to you. Can you make one? Great. You can't today, next day you wake up, I've got 6 classes available. Like, just stay and you'll slowly start to build the habit. Knowing that you're saying to yourself, yes, this is the most important thing and I gotta try to get here more. Like, just give yourself permission, right, to build the habit. The other thing though is what's gonna help you, and we have written down here, is that the community. And the fact that there's great people here that will be like you and not like you, but enthusiastic about the practice is going to help you realize that this is the most important thing in your life. It will encourage you and inspire you to keep coming, right? So something special about yoga communities, right? So you're more than just passing through, right? You're in this together. So so you guys, we're going to ask you this question: what's the most important thing in your life? Can you hear them?
Your life.
Yes, okay.
I
Good
heard
job.
them.